Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome back in today's class. Okay, so what we discussed yesterday is that how to create a catalog item. Let me see that how many of you already have created it. Maintain items, and we will see. Surprisingly, no one, I guess. No, no one did that part. Only me. Okay, that's fine. Now the point is that yesterday when we discussing, let's say I book a order. Okay, and this order will be delivered by the 5 or 3 teams and well as well. How this thing work in Servicenow? The fundamental which says is called the automation. Now, if I say automation, you start guessing or putting Atul automation in which language, in which tool, which scripting, and all the things will be there. In ServiceNow, we called flow and workflow. So now I'm adding a one more term called the flow. Is there any difference between two? Answer is yes. There is a difference. Both do the same work, but one is old and one is new. So workflow is an old concept and flow is a new concept. Close the door. Close the door as well. Okay. So flow is the new concept. So yesterday we discussed about the maintain item, right? It is the old method. The new method is UI, or sorry, is a new method, sorry. So today we will discuss about the workflow. And tomorrow we will discuss about catalog builder and the flow. Okay. Workflow play a very vital role. So if I say, if you are working in the change management, then complete change management is drive via workflow. If you're working on the knowledge management, complete knowledge management drive via workflow. If you're working on the request management, complete request management drive via workflow. That is for sure shot. So it means if I want to do anything in ServiceNow, then I need to know about the workflow. Now maybe Deepak has a question. Atul, then what is the scripting do? Scripting is supporting the components. Maybe a workflow component, maybe an email component, maybe a UI policy component, maybe a form component. So scripting is something different, but workflow is something different. Now there's a concept called the low code or no code. What this concept says that currently I'm talking about the 2023, and you will be I'm sure you saw the post on the LinkedIn by I guess there's a lady from ServiceNow that the next version UF is something. Uta is something is coming on 2nd of February as an early access. So you can get that version on your PDI, but for the public, it will be available on the 22nd of March. This is what they show in the calendar. So I'm trying that by tomorrow, by next week, we are in a situation where I can show you that how we can upgrade our systems, how we can upgrade our instances. Okay, so I'm trying, we will try it for the practical part. But the question comes, how this low code or no code come into the picture? Now ServiceNow says that in my domain, in my area, a lot of people are working. Developer, architects, functional consultant, business analyst. But people like me, like if I add people like me and Ashish, who know that we cannot build now our career in the coding or development part. but it's a client demand to do some demonstration, to build some POCs. Then what to do? So ServiceNow bring the solution up to the closing part of low code. But I'm not saying that 100% it will be close your requirement of the coding. It will be minimized. If you have an insurance, you are just minimizing your risk. You are not completely removing the risk. OK, so in the flow and in the catalog builder, it is something like that only. Low code, even though near to zero, but not zero, near to zero. But in the workflow, we required some coding. Now, Deepak not happy or Avi not happy. Atul, come on, if it is an old thing, then why you're teaching this? Because this is required to understand before you go for the flow part. This is what the fundamental. Practically, I tried to skip this part in the last batch, but I did not get success. Then I have to teach them about the workflow as well. So now all these things like approval, task generation, we will see from the workflow perspective. So now what to do? Come here and search for the workflow. And I click on the workflow editor. So these are the default workflow given by service, not default out of the box workflow given by ServiceNow. So now you can see change emergency, change task, normal task, standard task. You want to see the knowledge? For the knowledge, we have 4 or 6, I can say, workflows. Now Deepak is saying, wow, it is coming from here. And I'm thinking there's some magic in the background. No, there's no magic. So let's start our work here. Let's create a new workflow. In this part, important is that we should know that on which table I want to create a workflow. That is important. But this problem will be over when we go for the flow designer. So let me say LNG training. It's my workflow name. On which table you want to create this workflow. Now it is important. So yesterday when we were creating the catalog, what is the catalog table name? Let me ask, what is the catalog table name? What is the category table name? Go ahead, Neha.
LNG.
Come on. Table name I'm asking, not the catalog name. What is item table name, catalog item table name? Yes, Deepak, what do you think?
Service catalog.
Table name, not
name.
English word, table name.
SR underscore catalog.
SR underscore catalog. SR, how you
SC.
get
No.
SC.
SC. Good. SC underscore. Are you sure it's a catalog or it's a cat?
Cat.
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 And what about the category?
CATG.
And what is the table name for the request item?
RITM.
What are ITM?
I think it's SC underscore REQ requested item.
Are you sure, Avi?
It's SC underscore RE. SC it starts with SC underscore, and I think it's SC underscore REQ item. I'm forgetting the exact name. Catalog task is SC underscore S.
Okay, is it
SC underscore REQ
underscore item or SC underscore REQ item?
REQ underscore item.
It's SC underscore REQ item.
No, it's REQ underscore item.
Yeah. Yes. REQ underscore item.
So these things basically come in the ITSM implementation examination perspective. But it doesn't mean Atul, we are doing admin, so it's not required. Sometimes the question asked on this part as well in the CS examination. What is the catalog task table name? And remember, now you are not a beginner in Servicenow. You already done the 10 days course here. You're learning the Servicenow. So when I teach any topic, the first thing you should remember or know about the tables we're going to be used on that part. So now it says, boss, you're creating a workflow on which table you want to attach it. I want to attach it on the SC_REQ_item. This table. And I click this one. OK. Description you can put that what this particular will do, but doesn't mean that if you put English it will do. No, we have to be define everything here. OK. Now about the stages, that how it run actually. In practically how it run. Let's say I told to my kid or I educate my kid that if someone came from outside, okay, let some guest came, okay, then first you have to be say or to do the greetings, and then you ask their well-being, and then you can go to your room. But if some non-family member came, maybe mother came, father came, grandfather came, then you can greet them, bring water for them if possible, then ask for the well-being, and you can sit there and ask and talk to them. So here the stages define that how this particular workflow execute. Remember, now we are creating the workflow. Till now, we did not link this workflow with our requested item, which we did yesterday. Two are the separate entity. We at the last we have to be link it. So now if I say stages means by default, we did not change anything here. We say the thing which I'm writing here should be a workflow driven or some legacy, some linear, some main flow. Truly speaking, I never change anything here. I just know it's a workflow driven. And it's compute and it's execute. It's compute, it's execute. The steps we mentioned, it's compute automatically in the background and it executes. Fundamentally, I have no idea about these things because in my complete experience where I'm working on the RATM perspective or the request management perspective, I never see any developer change this. OK, now I click on the submit. So this is my workflow has been created. This is something I'm saying it is a function definition I created. It is a function definition I created. Now in the function definition, I have to put the function logic or the code. So now there's a concept called the core activities. These are the activities which is given by Servicenow or out of the box in the Servicenow to do your work. Like activity like greeting is a one activity. Asking well-being is a one activity. Serving water or serving drinks is a one activity. Serving lunch is a one activity. So under this, now you have to be decide. See, and this area, basically a developer's area. I told to my developer that boss, whenever any user click on submit button, it should go for the approval. So it means he know that he need to pick up this approval activity. Now in the approval also, I have sub activities as well. You need an approval from a group. You need approval from user. You need some approval action, means someone add manually and then it can be done. Or you want to take some action on the approval basis, previous approval basis. You need to generate on the runtime something. You want to add or you want to be rollback. I said I want approval from the group. Drag and drop. So now I have to be define it. What is the name? I say it's a batch edit. I'm saying. OK, stage is basically it says at what particular time you want to do. When the request approved, request cancelled, waiting of approval, what stage you want to show. I said it should show as a waiting for approval. And this is important when to run. When you want to run it, I say if the price or the qualification of a user is graduation or post graduation, only then it should run. If you're not putting any condition, it will run for everybody. Let me show you one thing here. And you can see this one. This one, I guess. See, even though they put the if condition, if price is 1000, then it should do. But in my case, I'm just putting a condition. If you want to condition, then you can go for the if condition, I guess. Subflows or maybe on the catalogs you will get it. Here you will get if. Then you can put it. So I'm saying it should run. Now, which group should approve this? I say I want it should be approved by the batch 11. Or let's say by change management, by management log. Now, important point. Okay, one more thing here, which is need to be understand schedule. Let's say I give an example. Earlier, what happened when I joined the industry? I got a new desktop. I need to be raise a request to configure the printer. Generally, this thing happened earlier in that way only. You have to be raise a request, and then it will get up. A printer has been configured on your desktop. Then what do you think that in the background that every time we need to be go and click approve and then the printer configuration work? Cannot we schedule this? That any request which has been raised between this time period to this time period, then it should get approved by these many groups or or by this particular person or this at this particular time. So in this case, you can schedule it. You want to schedule on the time zone, you can do. You want to schedule as per the workflow. Like you can create a sub workflow and you can use that part here. Or you want to do on the basis of the due date. If let's say I give an example, when someone resign from their company, notice period is 90 days. Up to 70 days, there is a no approval trigger to any of the department for sign off. On the 71st day, approval trigger to all the departments. It means those are the scheduled one. And those are the basis of the time zone. I want if the due date is for the 5 days, then second day should go for the scheduling part. Generally, these things work from the case by case basis. And it is not decided by me. It is decided by the business. But I get a requirement from the customer on that part, that how you want the approval. Generally, what I understand or what I get the idea is that there's a no, I can say, scheduling part customer want to be used. They want as soon as the submit request submitted, it go for the approval immediately. OK, now the last part is important. Now let's see from here. And this thing. Let's say I want to buy a car. In Neha's house, total 4 people. Brother, mother, elder brother, elder. It's the evening time. They all had a dinner together, and now Neha raised a request. Dad, I want to buy a car. Okay. Let's say father, mother, elder brother, elder sister. Now, multiple scenarios happen in our families. Neha has the impression that if father approved, it's approved. it's considered as approved. Then nobody can say no. In some cases, then if mother approved, it considers approved. No one can stop. No, father, mother both need to be approved. Or father, mother, brother, sister, everybody need to be approved. Specifically in the case of the marriages. Either it's a boy marriage or girl marriage. Once everybody in the family approved, only then they proceed. But this is a system. Let's say father approved, rejected, brother rejected, and sister approved. Now tell me what system will do. So there is no solution because it's a machine. It's not a human mind, right? But we have to handle it. Let's say if I am raising a request for the laptop and I want on the same time my manager and my managers also need to be approved. My manager approved, my manager's manager approved, rejected the request. Then what should go? What should happen to the request? So in this case, we have to be tied to the system. It's not a runtime activity, no. It's a hard code values, I can say. So you can see here. Now what says wait for this part. So now I put a proposal that she want to buy a car. The first option say an approval from each group, that you need or I need approval from everybody. If everybody approve, then consider as approved. If rejected, then consider as rejected. Or if you want to wait for everybody's answer, you can wait. Number one part. Approval from any group. No, I am so confident. Hey, family में से if anybody approve or papa approve, then it's fine. Or anybody approve and I am okay. Brother, sister, mother, father, anybody approve, I am okay. This is what? From everyone. Let's say now if I convert these two as a parent. These two as a sibling. Now in this group, both should approve. In this group, both should approve. Only then it should be considered as approved. If anybody rejected, let's say these two approved, this rejected, considered as rejected. Then first response from each group. In these two group, let's say father say yes. Then we will not wait for the mother input. In this sister say yes, will not wait the brother's input. Then also same thing. These are the practical scenarios actually. Then response from any group. Any of these, either parent or a sibling say yes, anybody say yes, consider as a yes. And condition based on the script. You need to be write a script if you want. Generally, we don't go up to this level. We decide from this one. And practical scenario and the best practice says an approval, first response from each group. This is what we considered. Now, if you get rejection, then consider as a complete rejection. And now I click on the submit. Any doubt? Any question? Good. Let's come here. Now, bhai, box has been set up. Now what to do? If approved, or let's say, let me show you something here. Let's click on validate. Read about this. There's a 16 checks, 14 info, 2 warning. Read about this warning. Let me know what to do. Quick and tell me what to do. Come on, guys, tell me. Tell me. What to do? Come on, nobody's speaking. The workflow contains one activity condition without an input transition. Who are the consultants here? Yes, Avi, tell me. Customer says it's not working. Now what you'll do?
Atul, I think we need to connect it box with.
Yes, we have to be connected. It's saying that there is an input transition. It's a blank box. I'm sorry, it's a silo box. There should be some input. So let's delete and let's link it like this. Now, if approved, then what should do? If rejected, then what should do? If rejected, process should be end. But if approved, then come here and go for the other activities. Let's create a task here. And now remember, we are talking about the catalog task, not the normal task. This one. Drag and drop. Task name, get the personal stage is fulfillment. And now what priority you want to set up for this particular task? I want it should be P2. Do you want to wait for some completion? I said yes. The wait completion means once the approval done, only then it should be created. Task value. Which fulfillment group? I want it should be assigned to the batch 11. Short description, get the details. Any instruction you want to put, you can put. If you have the variables as well. Okay, you can decide this way as well. Good. Let's say this. There's a concept for the variables as well. Okay, it's not for the variable, sorry. Only field. If you want to schedule, you can schedule that after 2 days, 3 days, it should get created. Simple. And here are the variables. What do you want to show? Acrobat show? Yes. You want to what we have created yesterday? Let me see. Right? Key type, I guess, right? Let's say these two should be show and submit because it's nothing for the approval perspective. So everything is fine now. And now let's create this here and let's map it here. So now we have a 16 info 0 warning. Come here. Yes, guys, any doubt? Please speak up now.
When it's rejected, we can reapproach, right? We can resubmit or re-request.
No, Ravi. It's not possible. Reject. It's not a change.
Okay.
It's not a change. It's a request.
Okay. Service request. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The life cycle over.
I think the only option is to create a new request.
That is the only option.
Yeah.
Okay. Now all set. Let's go back to our catalog item. This is our catalog item. Click here. And now come to the process engine. By default, Servicenow provide me an execution plan. It was the day when Servicenow initial version was running, summer and SP or Berlin kind of things. That time we used the execution plan, but now it's nobody is not using it. Tough to say, but nowadays no one is using this. There are few companies who already have this thing, but at point of time, either we're using the workflow or the flow. So now it's time to LNG training. Is it a workflow? Oh, it's a workflow. Save it. Done. Let's go to and now let's say, wow, someone did very good. Good. LNG training and admin basic. And now let's fill this detail. 4 primary contact, AG, cost center, sales, KLTO, and request. Wow, who removed the second option? There's a 2 option yesterday, right? Good. Someone did, it's good. Okay, now I submit it. I'll go here and open my request. Now, why it's going to this particular person? Any idea? Any idea?
Is the approve?
You've mapped the approval group as an incident or change manager, and he must be added to that group.
Must be added to the ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है. We added with the open eyes. Why your name is not coming here? You're the part of the batch 11, right? Why
No,
she,
you added incident and change manager
but,
group with the
but
approval.
added in the one go, right? We did not say it should be the sequence. Open this and see. Did we say it's a sequence?
No.
Then how you can say? See.
Batch 11. Okay.
Okay. Yes, my dear consultants friends, please reply me. These are the things we need to be understand, guys, here. Because for these things.
Is he the line manager?
But who's the line manager? Abhi, right?
I mean, no. I'm not able to see your screen, but if an approval is added by default, I think it's basically, I think the manager might have been added already for that user.
Did we added? We are using our work, right? Then
okay.
Then how it's becoming? Yes,
I think Servicenow out of the box will take it up.
Abhi, kuch bhi. Yes, Garima, go ahead.
The person is from sales department.
But did we edit him? Did we put anywhere that group?
No.
Then why it's coming?
We check through the department when we click on that person.
Did we add this thing logic in our workflow that go to the department check?
No.
Then if I did not say you, Garima, go straight, take right, did you take the right? No, because Atul did not told me.
Yeah.
It's a workflow. Yes, Avi, what do you think now? Go ahead, Ravi.
Is it a predefined?
Where predefined? This
Someone
question
might have manually added if there is an edit option based on
come
the
on,
role.
Avi, come on. Did we edit in our workflow?
No.
Everybody.
I mean, that's a possibility, but
Possibility nahi, no possibility. I want it to be get the answer for this one. I already discarded few of your answers. The answer in that only because I want everybody should search it. Answer we need it. I need it for tomorrow's class. Get that done. Let's say now I approve it. Approval done. Now go to the RIT. Okay. Okay, this has been come. Now, this is what Neha, our point is there. But I am surprised only for one thing, that our workflow is not in the published state. Then also it is getting or it is showing me the changes. Let's proceed further. So Neha, now this is what coming from the our logic. Everybody agree? We agree? This is what we added, right? We added all these things. Batch 11 change or incident we added, right? Now what we say, the first response from each group. Now the thing is that when this approval trigger, this view even IIT users can see, but logically a user need to go on this particular place and then he need to be approved. So now let me approve on the basis of the Ashish. One person approved because I need response from each group. This is what one part. Now let me approve from the change chain. And last, let me approve the incident manager team. And now, if you notice, the task has been get created for us. This task we created, right? P2 and get the details we mentioned. And now you can take its open, close, anything you want to do, you can do. Maybe if you close this, close complete. Let's say I put the close complete and click on the save, or let's say save here. And let me see my RITM status. It's still showing in the open state. There are few more steps we have to be add so that when I close my task, this also move to the close complete state. And my request also get in the close state as well. Now the homework which I want to be give, number one, to find out that why this person is getting the answer. Sorry, getting the this thing approval. And second point, how it is possible that without publishing, see, it is still showing checked out. How without publishing I'm able to map my workflow on this particular part. Try to find out answer that is it possible without publish? My current version, which is in the draft state, should work in the system. I'm sure it is a bug. As per my experience, it is a bug. It's not a possible case. But still we need to be find out. Now the question comes, Atul, where we can find the answers. So if you want to learn Servicenow, and this thing I learned from experience, start teaching to the other guys. Now Deepak says, Atul, come on. Myself, I'm learning from you. You want me to give another run my own batch? No. Go and create your account on the Servicenow community. And see people are posting the questions there. And try to be answer those questions. You know, which area I pick up? I pick up the system admin area. I never go to the development or architect area because I know I cannot do that part. Just I pick up the system admin area. A lot of questions came there. And few questions I ask you in these discussions, which I learned from there and I put on you. So try to find out that is it possible without publishing a workflow, can I attach to the maintain item? And second point, you have to be find out the answer that why this approval get trigger. What is the reason behind that? And third point, read about or see about at least these two workflows. Check these workflows, open this workflow and read about this workflow. If anybody working the change, open this change workflow and read. These are the boxes. Maybe if you double click, you will not be able to see anything like this. Better click on the checked out here. It's our PDA, you can check out, no problem. so that you can see everything clearly.
One question, Atul.
Good.
When it's like, for example, if there is a team of 3 consultants who are building a workflow for one particular change request, right?
Okay.
Now, how there might be a situation where let's say I worked on a workflow and I edited some things, and I have logged off. If my second partner is working on that particular workflow and he made some changes, right? Now, if I log in back, how would I know whether there was an update on those workflows and how, I mean,
Not possible.
you know, right? How parallel.
Wait. Avi, it's not possible case. Once up, I guess it has been checked out. It has been done by only one person,
Okay.
not by the 2 person.
Okay.
And it's also, if you want to see, I'm not sure that it can be done, but we can see this thing. Let's go here, and there's something called history, something. Show context or something. Properties. Because it's tough here to be identified actually that what changes he has done.
Okay.
The reason being because there's a no pictorial representation. This is what Servicenow remove or I can say give a flexibility in the work for flow designers. Okay, maybe via activities tab I can, if I say personalized form, it's already activity. Not sure. Need to be see that where we can check. I doubt that we can see that what changes has been done until the person update you. Time, application, activities, inputs, condition, journal. No, there's no. Yeah, history. Yes. This is what I'm looking for. Yeah. So here you can go and see. Let me pick up my one, LNG. Okay. Let's say, let me publish this. Okay. It's published, and now let me check out this. And let me add one more core activity catalog task. My test and submit. Now I want it should be in the parallel manner like this, and it should be like this. Okay. Then you can publish, because one thing which I know that the person who checked out, he or she need to be publish it. Nobody else can publish on their behalf. Okay, now if I publish it and if I go here, properties, go here and check for the history. And now I can see here. So by this way you can see. Like initially this has been done, and after some time the other part has been done. Where's the other plus here? I guess 1 plus is showing. This one, and this is second not order, something is there. But you can check it from here only. But it's very tough to be find out.
Got it. Right.
So why history one? You can check it easily. Okay. Now the point is that let's say I want this request should be approved by the logged in user managers. Then how you do? I want this request should be approved by the logged in user manager. It's a normal case, right? Neha joined a company, Neha raised a request, it should be approved by someone, maybe Deepak as his manager. I joined a company, my manager is Ravi. In this case, Ravi should approve this request. Then what you do? Then either you can create a sub flow or in the user. Let me try this part. Sorry, it will not work. We have to be checked out first. I'm trying to build this. I never tried this part. Let's build it. Okay. Users manager. This is another benefit which is available in the flow designer. ServiceNow give few flows out of the box itself, which they know that everywhere it has been used. Approver, let's say users. I need a users manager. Now in user, if I put it, it will come as a name. If I put in the group, it should go as a group. So I have to do some scripting here. With there's a concept called the dot walk. This one. Work or not? No, it will not work. Sys user dot no, it will not work. So there's a concept called the dot walk. Let me show you something here. And let me take this user. Now, if you notice on the user table, there are few fields which is coming from the other tables, like I can say department. Okay, department is coming from the user table. That's good. And let's say department. I'm looking for some field which is coming from the another table. Or let's say if I put here view, configure, and form layout. This is very much important concept in ServiceNow called the dot walk. So now this thing like this. Let me show you this one. I want manager's detail as well. Manager's first name. Now if I click this, so you can see manager dot first name. It means it is coming from some different table. And by the dot walk, I'm calling it. Let's save and let's see. This one. Oh, it's again coming from the user table or sys user only, but it is coming from the sys user dot manager dot first name. This dot play a role to bring the field of the other for the same table in the form level. It is a reference guide, I can say, a reference link, I can say. Sometimes this question has been asked in the interview and also in the CSA examination, that what the dot walk do. It used to bring a field, or I can say attribute of other field on this part. Then we use
it works as object parameter relationship.
You can say as well. Maybe if I show you something more, because I'm looking for a good example, let me put the related list. Like I can say these are kind of example of the dot work only. Like it is task closed by, watch list by. Okay, let me show you here. In ServiceNow. This one. Dot work provide access to the field of a related tables for a form, from a form, list or script. Means if you want to get any field of a reference table or the related tables, then you can use the dot walk. So if I use in this particular area, it will not work because I need to put that one, what I can say, glide classes. So if I put underscore user dot manager dot first name, then it will be showing this for me. So the purpose is that with the help of the dot walk, you can do this thing, but you cannot achieve this requirement that it should be approved by the users manager. You cannot achieve directly. You have to write some code here. This is what the point I want to be sure. Let me see if anything else we can bring it here. Or let's go here and say manager. There's nothing called manager. Nothing called manager, right? No. So it is not given by Servicenow out of the box. So we have to be created. But this will be done easily in the flow designers because Servicenow say I'm giving you by default. Okay. Now what we have to be do or what you have to do as an exercise. Try to create at least 1 to 5 different workflows. Now, if you want to send a notification because we did not complete this topic, so I cannot show you, but let me check out and show you here. It's already set it. Why not able to do this path? Okay, sorry, this one, create notification. Did you notice that if you are raising a change and you're putting the plan start date or end date, automatically email trigger with the form of the invite. It is coming from here only. Now, if I put this as a create event. Event detail I can put, event name maybe I can pick up because it is coming from some different concepts. You will cancel something and you can put the parameters here. Then it will work for you. If you want to understand, go to the change request workflow and there you will find the notifications. There are the few more things like timer. Why timer is used? Because recently I worked on these things with my development team. Let's say I am bringing the data in Servicenow from another tool. From Salesforce to Servicenow, I'm bringing some data. I want that because if I'm raising a change or raising an incident, it takes a few seconds or the few minutes to get completely raised. All the information should be there. I want when change has been saved or incident has been saved, it should wait for the 3 minutes and then it executes the next step. So timer is basically used to hold something for a few minutes. Generally, it has been used in the integration. Generally, it has been used in the change request. I'll give one example in the same part. So in my one of the organization where I was working, so we created their workflow, change workflow. Okay. The problem is that the first level of approval when it go to 200 people in a single shot because they have one group and they say they want it should go to 200 people in that group. If anybody approve, okay, it is not triggering the next approval. And we intentionally stop that. Why? Because we want sometime what happened that for a user click and done. But for a system, the things need to be settled down. Like if I say, let's say Suraj is going for a jogging. He came from jogging. He says, and let's say his wife says, okay, what he says, hold it for a minute. Give me 1 or 2 minutes. Why? Let my breath should be settled down. This is what we are doing here as a timer. We want every data should be settled down in the tables. Then we proceed for the next part. So you can put the timers here as well. For a specific duration, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, sorry, 2 seconds, I'm saying 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. We intentionally do. So that table should be done in a proper manner and data should be stored in the proper manner. Try this thing today. I use a specific, I want it should be a 5 minutes and after that the task should get created. And then you can do that part. Where it's gone? Let's say 3 minutes. Okay, and submit. So now instead of this, I'm saying this and then this. And then this and this. So in this case, if you approve it, it will take 3 minutes before it get the this. Let try to run this now. Let's go here and raise a new request. Request and request now. Number 5. Let's go here. We are a human being, we can quickly do this thing. So let me say it's there. Let me approve. Approval done. Yes. Go here, open the RITM. Done. Let me request on individual. Okay. Approve one. Now our intention that the task should not get created. Simple. Approve. And the last should approve. Now see, task did not get created. Even though you refresh the screen. Oh, it's get created. Come on. Let's see workflow. Is it bypassing this part? Yes, it bypass. It's a 3 seconds only. Come on, guys. Nobody's noticing this. Come on. See, 3 seconds. You should tell me, Atul, you're doing wrong. See, if we put 3 seconds, it should be here. Then try, it will work. This is what the timer do. If you want to put some conditions like branching, case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, then you can do this thing. You want to set some value. I want as soon as the request should raise, I want it should be assigned to this particular group. Let's try this thing. I never try, but we can try this thing.
Atul, if for example, if the field is editable, right? If one of the field is editable and once the timer is completed, if I edit the field,
which field?
Will that timer take into effect? I mean, if I'm so the timer will come into picture if the entire table is updated and then it moves into the next flow, right?
Right. So timer means where you're putting the timer. Let me close it. This one. So unless timer will not over, you cannot do anything after that. Before that. The task will not appear unless the timer is over. See, when in the old days we have that mercury based thermometer, right? Doctor says put that thermometer in the mouth for minimum 3 minutes. They wait for the 3 minutes only, then they take it out and see yes, now temperature is fine. After that, there's that digital thermometer came. You just put and after some time it get a beep. Why not before? Because they have set some timer in the between. So timer is to hold something for us for a time being. This is what the purpose of the timer here. Let me show if in the change I can show you. Sorry. If you see you're on the change request. See, wait for condition. It is wait for condition. It is not timer, but it's wait for condition. Set values, they're setting up some values. It is important. Set value, wait for condition, timers are very much important. You see, as soon as you click on your change has been approved, it goes to the schedule state. How? Because in the background, the workflow is setting up that value. Creating a task. If it's an unplanned outage, then what to do? Wait for condition. Sometime hold it for some time. Let's see if I check. Okay, it's already checked out. Let me see. But it's saying wait for condition. I'm telling you, if you want to learn, a lot of people ask me, Atul, we want to learn ServiceNow. Can you give us some use cases to do that part? Then my simple answer is that, you know how the change management works? They said yes. I said create the same workflow without seeing that workflow. Then you will have to learn it. So now they have a condition. State is implement. Then wait until it's true. Till then we have to wait. So this is what for wait for conditions. I'm telling you, before you do any practice, better you go through these workflows. Anybody who's working the knowledge, open this and see that how knowledge management is working. Very, very important point. Very, very important point. See, approval user. It's going to someone else. Let me show you that. But I'm showing you so that you get an idea that how these things work actually. Because in this, somewhere it go for the knowledge base manager as well. This is what I want to be see. Yeah, so now this one. How the dot walk work like this. Dot get approvals current. Like this. And it's an advancement scripting one. So read these and try to understand this. Only then you will know that how this workflow works. But if you want to go for the development, then you have to create the workflows manually, guys. Only then you will be able to learn it. Go ahead, Ravi, please.
Yeah, shall we create, kind of expiry date, or can we put that expiry date for the catalog item? It means like renewal or
catalog item don't have expiry date. They have a due date for the deliveries. Knowledge articles have expiry date.
no. If I want to set that renewal date, kind of like certification renewal, when alert will come, like that.
It's all your use case. What you want to do, you can create it.
Okay, no, do we need to create in the workflow, or we need to create, some code has to be created,
First of all, you have to put that. First of all, you have to put that field on the form level so that you can get entry from the user.
Okay.
Right? Once you get an entry, then you can put a condition that if the expiry date is less than 30 days, user should get a notification.
Okay.
Right? In that case, you have to do this thing. If condition. We need to go in the if condition sub workflow.
But in the form level, we need to put a field called expiry.
How you will ask. Right? See, once we started this training, everybody asked Atul, what is the duration for this one? Right? Why? So that everybody can get an idea that it will take this much time for me. If nobody will ask and I did not tell, then it's a lifelong, maybe.
Okay.
Then there's no expiry. But I said, no, guys, it will be 45 days, 40 to 45 days. It means everybody know that today is 11th day, still 30 days are left for us to be go through. Right? So information should be asked. You cannot presume, or maybe if you want to presume, you can say, okay, like if you purchase any product from market, let's say any kind of a biscuits or a snacks item, by default, you assume that the expiry is for the 1 month after opening. It can be 3 months as well, but you assuming that part. So assumption can be wrong. better you read it, and then you can take a decision. All right.
Yep.
So we need to be getting inputs, only then you can do your work.
Okay.
This is what I want to be clarified, because the point is that all the things which we're discussing, it's totally a use case based. Neither you decide, neither I decide. It's business tell and we recommend them how to do. This is what the point here. Clear, everybody? Any doubt, any question? Good. Now
do we have any classes in future, business rules and all?
yes, we have scripting classes.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Now the homework for you: read the out of the box workflows and try to create your own workflows. It is must. Otherwise, you will forget. That's the point. Okay. Before that, anybody has a question? I stop the recording here, guys. Okay, then let me stop the recording and take a quick attendance.